Today we're going to be talking about brushes, what brushes I currently use, my favorite brushes in Photoshop, and I'm going to be sharing them with you guys. So make sure you stick around till the end of the video.
What's up?
So I've been seeing in the comment section, everyone has been asking, what brushes do I use? What brushes do I use? Can I share my brushes with them? And I just decided, I've had these brushes since ages, and I actually downloaded them when concept art was starting off. It was popping at that point. So everyone had these brushes from P-Leng, Mimyu, and all these really fantastic artists back then, Jamie Jones. They all shared their brushes freely online for everyone to download. So I've had these brushes since about, I think 2009 or so, right? Or is it 2012? One of those years. Anyways, so if you don't know Sergey Kolosov, he's a really fantastic painter, illustrator, artist in general. He worked on Dishonored. I mean, if you just take a look at his portfolio now, you just know that this guy is really solid. And he's one of the guys that uploaded his brushes as way back then, and he shared them for everyone to use. So I have his brushes, and I just included everything in the pack for you guys. But I'm going to just show you guys my favorite brushes that I use in Photoshop and just how I use them, the effects they give, and I hope this will help you guys. So quick note, it's really not about the brushes. As you can see, I generally use just the soft round airbrush and maybe one hard brush to draw, and that's really it. All your favorite artists mostly use no more than 3 to 4 brushes in their work because they've understood the basics of art, they've understood the foundational knowledge. So right now they really can achieve whatever they want to achieve in their work with just a couple of brushes. Now, getting all these brushes, these textured brushes, will help you to imitate some textures faster than usual. But if you've already done your studies, it will just pretty much take your art to kind of the next level. So you know the texture you're trying to imply, and then you just use the brush to imply it. But if you really know Dave Raposa, you know that he has been using pretty much just this soft round brush for a long time now. I'm blabbing, I'm going off course. All right, so let's get into Photoshop and I'll just show you the brushes that I use right now. So yeah, if you download this brush pack, what you're going to see is this. I see from my past PSD that I shared online, some people didn't know how to unzip it, so I'll just show you how I do it. I'm on Mac, so once you get this file, you just right click. Actually, you can just double click it and it will just unzip the file for you. But if you're on Windows, I think you can probably get WinRAR or WinZip, and it will pretty much do the same thing. So you can open it and you find these two packs. So this brush pack is the selection of the ones that I use currently, and this one is the entire folder with about, I don't know, 100 or more brushes, I don't know. So you will get both of them and then you just import them into Adobe Photoshop. So I'll just pretty much show you their effects, how I use them and all that. So these are my favorite brushes. This is the general hard round brush. This is what I use for drawing. It's just a hard round brush, and I pretty much use this for drawing. It has pen pressure turned on and a little bit of smoothening and a little bit of transfer. So if you don't know what those are just, well, actually there's no transfer and smoothening on. There's smoothening on but no transfer, so it's just shape dynamics and smoothening. On shape dynamics, it's set to pen pressure and it's right here at the end, so you can have this fine thin to thin line when you draw. So pretty much this is what I use for drawing, and you can actually use it to blend if you want to, but it's going to be quite difficult because it doesn't have transfer turned on, so you can't blend that much with this. And then next is the soft round brush, which is probably my favorite brush. and I use it all the time. This is what I use for pretty much. Let me just be making the mark so you guys can see it. So this is the hard brush, and this is the soft round brush, my favorite brush for everything I use. As you can see, it does what a soft airbrush does. It will help you with transitions and all that. I pretty much use it for everything I do, painting, all that. I just love using this soft round brush. And then when you have shape dynamics turned on and you do this, you set it to pen pressure and minimize it, you can actually use it to draw as well, because you just made the tip smaller, so you can actually draw. And then if you increase the size, you can draw, kind of fade it out, draw some more. It's really fantastic. It's my favorite brush in Photoshop. So I'll just take that off and I'll leave it there. The next one is the hard round brush with opacity flow. And what this brush does is it's kind of a mix between the hard round brush and this soft airbrush. So as you can see, it does this, and I even tweaked it a little bit some more. So I added transfer and I added some shape dynamics, and I just set it to this. So what this does is it tells you where this dictates how much taper you want in your brush. So there's just a little bit of taper, and then there's transfer turned on, so it pretty much smooths the edges out. So you can see there's a transition right here, and this is just what it looks like. If you know Anthony Jones, anyone who knows Anthony Jones, this is probably the brush he uses for a lot of his paintings, because I can see the effects. It has these kind of strokes in his paintings on Instagram. So this is probably the brush he uses. Next is this brush. I actually got this brush from Jama Jurabaev. If anyone knows him, he's a really fantastic painter. Check him out, he's pretty phenomenal. And I just used this brush to probably paint. I use it to paint my backgrounds, and just to make some texture, to put in some texture in the background, so my backgrounds are not plain, are not just flat. There's a little bit of texture for my characters. So this is what the blending of this brush will look like. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just brushing and I'm just selecting the color that's between the color blended and the main color. So I'll just select the middle, and then I'll brush that back in, and select this and brush that back in. That's how I pretty much blend these colors. So that's that with that brush. Then there's this brush. This is a textured brush. It has a very textured edge to it, but you can use it like this if you want to. Actually, this looks like someone running. This looks like the silhouette of someone running. Ooh, where are you running to, man? Anyway, how I usually use this brush is I'll reduce the size, and then I'll actually use it to draw, because it has this textured edge to it. It has this textured feeling to it, like you're drawing on some kind of textured paper with pencil. And that's usually how I use this brush. Just play around, kind of get some shapes going. So yeah, there's this brush too. You can use it to pretty much draw. You can play around with it and see what the brush does for you, but that's generally what I do with it. And then these are the brushes that I use in my backgrounds a lot. These are the ones that you guys are always asking, what brushes that? These are the brushes. So this is what I use for my smoke clouds in the background. This is the brush. This is it right here. I just increase the size, and then I just paint in the background, just blend it a little bit. So this is the brush right here, this one. Let me do a quick blend of what it does. All right, this most of all these brushes have transfer or smoothing turned on. That's why they really blend a lot when you do this. And then the next one is this brush. Now I use this when I'm rendering, say, metal, and I want to give it a worn out grungy look. Now this is the brush I'll use for that. This is the brush I'll just use to pretty much give that metal some grunge within it, and you can actually just play around and see what you can get with the brush, but this is generally the brush I'll use for that. Let's put that here. Yeah. Then this one, pretty much the same thing as the previous one. And then there's this. Now this is what I use to paint clouds. Sometimes when I kind of want to put a background in the character, painting some clouds, this is what I'll use for that. You can increase the size of the brush, and then you see what the clouds look like. So this is the brush I'll use for that. Just moving it out. And then there's this is the chalk brush. It has a really strong hard edge to it, and you can use this to draw to if you want, but I usually use this to just play around with shapes, and then I combine it with a hard brush as an eraser to just erase some parts. So I'll just use this to maybe play around. Maybe if I'm doing studies from movies, just some scenes, this is the brush I'll use for that. So it really doesn't blend that much. It's more like this, the hard brush. And this one too is from Jama Jorabayev. Has a textured edge to it. Fantastic brush. And these two brushes are just halftone brushes. I downloaded these from Brusheezy for free. Brusheezy is a website where you can get free brushes, and I just got these halftone brushes when the last Spider-Man came out, Into the Spider-Verse. I really love that feel, so I just got these halftone brushes, and there's two of them, one for each side, so you can get one more coming from this side. And it's just cool. You can play around with it and see what you can get. But actually, those are all the brushes that I use all the time. These are my core brushes, and if I'm trying to do any other thing, then I mean, I'll have to find another brush. But if it comes to just my everyday work, drawing, coloring, all that, these are the brushes that I use. And really, if you're practicing, you really don't want to have a ton of different brushes that you're using. Just have a few and then try and emulate every texture you need to with these brushes. Now, I don't think these brushes will work in Procreate, because I know definitely some people are going to ask, will these brushes work in Procreate? I don't think so. If you're looking for good brushes for Procreate, you can get them from Eric Anthony J. If you don't know him, fantastic guy, my friend, my online friend. I haven't met him. I haven't met a lot of you guys, and all of you guys, I'm friends with you guys right now. I feel like this has become a family, a big family. Very soon it will turn into the Addams family and start doing scary stuff. But anyway, yeah, you can get brushes from Eric Anthony J. He has really fantastic brushes on his Gumroad, so you can go check that out, download them, try them, tag him if you want him to look at your work, help you out. You can tag him on Instagram. Yeah, but don't do too much of that. And yeah, I hope these brushes will help you. You learned something from this video. Make sure you share this video with another artist so they can all get some brushes. I know everyone likes brushes, so share it, leave a thumbs up on the video, and I'll see you guys